you seen any good hentai? You know, strangely, a lot of hentai I can't watch because there's some, like, serious rapey vibes in hentai, and I can't do it. Like, I'm too much of a feminist. Honestly, I don't watch porn anymore. This is actually a good discussion. I kind of want to have this discussion. I don't watch porn anymore. Instead, what I do is I go to Twitter and I follow actual sex workers, and I on my private Twitter, like my not safe for work Twitter, I like and retweet their stuff, just so that like I'm supporting them in some way, you know, because I know too much about the porn industry, and like even sites like Pornhub and things like that, just like completely like decimated sex workers. Like, it just ruined sex workers in a lot of different ways. And so now there's this sort of like revolution happening where sex workers are becoming like independent creators on things like OnlyFans and stuff like that, AVN stars, all that sort of place, all those sort of places. And I would just prefer to support in that way, you know. So long story short, the only like hentai that I really see is like GIFs and stuff. I know a sex worker through Twitch. That's awesome. Conscious wanking. Yeah. 100% woke wanking. Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's important to masturbate responsibly, and because like the thing is that there's way too much stuff. There's way too much stuff in life. You're always going to be doing something wrong. You're always going to be hurting somebody somewhere. So you just gotta like pick the things that you really care about, and sex is one of the things that I really care about. If you type in command mission statement, it's part of our mission statement, is like sexual awareness and like sexual normalization and like celebrating sexuality. It's something that I really care about, so it's something that I try to invest in. What do you think of the 7 deadly sins and how they represent Elizabeth? Honestly, I don't have a problem with it. And the reason that I don't have a problem with it is because anime women are such powerful women. Like, Elizabeth is an incredibly powerful woman, and the truth is, at least from my interpretation of it, the truth is that Elizabeth actually like, Elizabeth can and does put Meliodas in his place a lot. Like, when she needs to, she wants to, she absolutely can. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with Meliodas being like a complete perv with Elizabeth, even if Elizabeth is like, Captain, stop, because like they do love each other so much. Like, there's I'll walk by Birdie and like squeeze her butt, or like, you know, like that, you know, that's. So, even though she is portrayed in the sort of like anime archetype of like I'm weak and dumb and blah blah blah, she's not, and it's exemplified in the show. I am not the type of feminist that thinks that acting like that is a problem. Like, I think it's, if you want to act that way as a woman, I think it's totally fine. You act that way as a woman. I think that limiting the way that women can act in the name of feminism is just as bad as limiting the way that women can act in the name of misogyny. Does that make sense? Hi Periwinkle, it's so lovely to see you. Welcome in. Follow a bunch of not safe for work artists on Fur Affinity. It's nice because you can also donate to them directly. Yeah, exactly, and that's true as well. Bear Hats, where they all have like their all the sex workers I follow have like their links everywhere and all that sort of thing. Masturbate responsibly, my motto for 2021. Her Majesty, honestly, if I like inspire you to do that, I'd be honored. I would be honored. Watching tech always makes me question my worldview. QB, honestly, I'm really flattered by that. I'm really flattered by that, because that means that I'm making you think. And, like, because I constantly question my worldview. And I think it's important to do that. I think it's important to question your own worldviews. Because I think the moment that you get super rooted in your own way of thinking, you're doomed to become, what's the word I'm looking for? You're doomed to become stagnant, like, but it's more than that. The idea is that we think of philosophy as like, I need to develop a life philosophy that I can live the rest of my life by. But the truth is that the world is constantly changing, and so in order to live the best life, we need to be constantly changing with it. And so constantly examining your own worldviews is hugely important, and it's something that I do all the time. I'm constantly, like, self-editing, constantly, like, looking at I don't like that. I don't think that this quite works. And it's not like a criticizing of myself. It's constructive. It's like I'm if you think of, like, my mind as like a palace, I'm constantly doing renovations on my palace, is the idea, you know? What really fascinates me is that in 50 years' time, my worldview might be considered racist, like how gays were not accepted decades ago. Exactly! That's exactly what I'm talking about. That phenomenon is exactly the word that I was trying to think of, and I don't know if there is one. But the idea is that if you root yourself in a philosophy now, 50 years from now, it might be abhorrent, and it was perfectly acceptable before. So it's really important to constantly be like doing renovations on yourself. Both mind and body. I often wonder what it is today that will be wrong in the future. Yeah, and I think that's a great thought experiment. Because honestly, like, if you're having those thoughts now, and you realize that something that is socially acceptable now is wrong, then you can work to make the change. You can be the person that makes the change, which is hugely important. I hope it's capitalism. Yeah. Capitalism, I don't know. It's complicated. It's complicated because, like, I love Devin Nash. Okay, I'm a huge Devin Nash fanboy. And one of the things that Devin Nash talks about is that the people who are at the top of Twitch worked their butt off to get there. Like, and there really aren't many mistakes. There really aren't any mistakes at the top of Twitch. Like, the people who are at the top of Twitch, the top Twitch streamers, they work their butt off to get there and deserve their spot. And so that's admirable and inspiring. That, like, if I really work hard and put, like, my heart and soul into this, I can achieve what I want to achieve. And at the same time, like, unfettered, is that the right word? Unfettered capitalism is like pure evil. It's just like pure evil. So yeah, so just like most things in life, I think it rides a fine line. You know what I mean?